He put a video out called Sex and Consent. It was like 6 months ago, and it was happening along the time when certain YouTubers were
being outed as
abusers. And I know Alex Day was one of them. I know there was a few more. I really didn't follow it that specifically because maybe I'm not in that community, or maybe I'm just, I don't know, focused on other things. But it came out, and it's a weird time because YouTube got big, and then these, young people got, fame all of a sudden, and then they made some choices that probably weren't correct. And can you tell me what happened and what was your read on it, and did we learn anything from it?
Okay. I have not spoken about this massively publicly yet.
Okay.
But what I think happened was there was people abused the power that they had and used it to manipulate people and coerce people into things or sexual acts that they did not want to do. And many people felt pressured physically or emotionally into doing things that they didn't want to do because of the status of these people. And there was definitely this massive power imbalance in some of the cases. I think that, it was awful. People shouldn't, in the first place, that kind of thing just shouldn't be happening. But I'm forever an optimist. And I think the positive thing that has come out of this situation is that it's got the YouTube community talking about this. And it's really helped strengthen it. During that time, the community just came together and supported one another, and just there's been so much more talk on YouTube, and even made mainstream news with the Sam Pepper thing over the summer. And
is he a YouTuber?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, it just shows that the way that the YouTube community responded to it was we will not stand for this. This is completely unacceptable behavior. Oops, sorry, Mike. And these conversations about healthy relationships and about consent are happening. And I really, I do feel good that these conversations are changing things, and that they're still happening now, even though those kind of events have they've happened now, and there was all that talk about it then, but people are still talking about it now. It's one of those things that I'm really glad that those conversations just didn't stop, but they're still going on because they're still necessary, unfortunately. But
right, and the YouTube community really came out and said, this is okay, this isn't okay, right? I mean, there were certain people that events happened, or maybe they apologized, and people were like, it's not okay. I mean, I was reading an article about it, and there was a tweet from you where you said, I hadn't watched Alex Day's new video, but nope, you are not part of this community anymore. What the hell? Yeah. And there were other reactions like that.
Mm-hmm. I think, I don't know if I would stand by that tweet anymore, though. It's because I've spoken to some people about it now, and it's kind of like what I was saying before. It's my channel. I can put out whatever I want on it. So Alex is kind of it's his channel. He can, he is physically able to still make videos and put them out there, but he completely abused the trust that he had with his audience and the YouTube community. And I think any wise person who just wanted to put that behind them just wouldn't come back. This was a platform that put him in a position where he could abuse that power. So why are we okay with him coming back to it?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Is there any absolution? Or is it just he needs to go away forever? Or people that have made these mistakes, is there any redemption? Is there any way they can be, pay for what they've done? Well,
the kind of unfortunate thing about it is that people don't trust don't trust jurisdiction. They don't trust that if they go to the police, anything will really be done about it, which is why all of these battles are being fought out but with anonymous Tumblr posts and videos and things like that, and no real justice is happening.
Right.
But that just comes from the lack of trust in it, and just the general culture around sex abuse cases and things like that. But I do think that people can change and learn from their mistakes. But I think that, if you abused the trust that you had with a community, even if you have changed, just find a new community. Like, go somewhere else, do something different. I can 100% accept that people can be sorry for what they've done and really, really sincerely apologize. But I just think it's probably best that they do not put themselves back in the situation that allowed that to happen in the first place.
Okay. Do you think that YouTube should do some training for people?
100%. Oh,
okay.
yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
I was having this discussion with one of the guys today that does a lot of our YouTube stuff, and I said, should they have something where when you break 50,000 subs, you have to go in for ethic training, or now you are a star, you have responsibilities? I mean,
I don't know. Yeah. Because I think there's so much emphasis on safeguarding, which is good. You want people to be safe online. But it is very much focused on what you need to do in order for you to not be abused or bullied online, rather than how to not bully.
Right, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we were having discussions at this Women on YouTube event at Google a couple months ago maybe, and one of the things, it was this kind of roundtable discussion type thing, just to kind of throw ideas around, and one of the things was YouTube kind of getting involved in the legalities of things and actually protecting people and keeping people safe. That training thing, I don't think specifically that kind of thing came up, but that could be interesting.
Right.
But it's where do you draw that line? Because that fame is relative. There could be a 13-year-old girl out there who completely idolizes someone who has 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And yeah,
but maybe it should be part of the class. I mean, we actually.
How do you get everyone to it? Not everyone can come to London, LA, New York, or Tokyo.
But maybe an effort should be made. I mean, we met at a year and a half ago at a 2-day training at YouTube, and they taught us how to thumbnail and how to do this. And maybe they should have spent 30 minutes and said, look,
how to treat your fans correctly.
Yeah, how not to become a megalomaniac or whatever. How not to let your ego turn you into this. Maybe or maybe even a case study of, look, this is what happened last year and the year before, and this is not good.
And YouTube and ethics.
Yeah, and maybe we don't tolerate this and we won't accept this.
Yeah, but the thing is that as much as it would be amazing to see YouTube as a company actually make a statement about it and do something about it, it's not a YouTube specific issue. Right. It's entertainment industry, it's society. It happens. The core of what happened was power balances and just manipulative behavior and sexual abuse. And it just so happened that YouTube could be a platform where those kind of relationships could have been made, but they happen everywhere.
They happen everywhere, but let's be honest, they wouldn't have happened without YouTube.
Not those specific ones.
Right, and because it's such it's ubiquitous, it's so powerful with the form of video.
Yeah.
You could argue that wouldn't happen with a Twitter or a blog or something like that. It would happen with a video platform, and these days there's really just one video platform. I mean, I know they can't police everything, but it's interesting to see that all these cases did surround, YouTube personalities, right?
Yeah.
And so and I guess the other thing I just wanted to ask you about, I mean, this is such a strange time in history that 10 years ago this couldn't happen. And this was this time where you had these massively accelerated fan bases that would probably only ever happen with Hollywood stars, at that age group.
Yeah.
These are males in their early 20s, right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing, maybe I'm not. And so this is this weird technology piece that all of a sudden thrusts these people into these situations where they made some bad choices. I mean, is this a technology issue?
No.
Okay. But it's something that was exacerbated by tech.
I think that one of the things that technology has done good in this situation is more people can talk about it. And rather than an isolated case of sexual abuse happening, because that's what they're treated like, cases of sexual abuse are all treated as isolated incidents rather than like actually looking at the bigger picture and going, oh, there's like an epidemic going on here. But what I think technology does is it allows those conversations to spread and spread and spread and reach and trickle down. And so people, rather than seeing like this one incident happen here and another one happen here and not relating them, like it's happening now. People are relating them and trying to figure out, okay, what is the problem? What is happening here that is allowing these situations to happen? And then trying to fix it.
Right. And that was the community. And the community really reacted in this sense. And they almost were the police force, right? I mean, like you said, I mean, I mean,
it's dangerous.
It's kind of a weird mob mentality. I mean, they can go one way and they can go the other way. I mean, you've seen them on your stuff, like that Instagram thing you post, like they can be like wolves and you can't control them sometimes. No. So like with Alex and this kind of thing, I mean, and then also he's, look, I also, like you said, it's these weird anonymous Tumblr posts and stuff that and everyone kind of goes. So is that the right way to do it? No, it
really isn't. It's so tricky because one of the things I will 100% stand by is that whatever the victim chooses to do in that situation is 100% fine. Like if they want to write an anonymous Tumblr post about it, do it. If they want to do nothing about it, fine. If they just want to tell a couple of close friends, if they want to go to the police, in as much as I would like every case to be brought to the authorities, as much as I think that is the world that I want to live in, I also, you just have to respect the wishes of the person who is like the victim in that situation.
Okay, but how do you defend yourself against an anonymous post? I mean, someone could write an anonymous post about you or me.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like in a trial, it might not happen. You've seen sometimes people go to trial and they're like...
But the thing about the fake anonymous posts and that argument is that it's exactly the same argument as, but what if this woman lied about being raped? And like the statistics show that the percentage of most cases of people lying about that kind of thing never make it to court. They are like immediately dismissed. It's very clear that it's not true. And the percentage of rape cases that are actually fake is the same percentage of muggings that are lied about. But you don't see headlines about blah, 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 lied about being mugged. Oh my God. And it's definitely this thing where people don't trust someone to be able to say truthfully what happened to their own body.
Yeah.
It's like, I could say, this is what happened to me, this is how it made me feel, and people are like, really though? I think I know better. You're like, no, it happened to me, I think I know better.
It's such a strangely charged issue.
Really weird mistrust. And so that's, with these, like you said, these fake posts, I just think that's irrelevant, because there have been a couple fake posts, but they've been immediately discarded. Like, no, that's not true. And rather than creators worrying about, oh no, what if someone writes a fake post about me? No, like what you should be thinking is, I will not behave in that way because I am a decent human being and I respect everyone.
The fake posts are a good point, but also if you can't even defend your post to someone anonymous, it just gets tricky. But I mean, I guess...
But I kind of think if you have done nothing wrong, then...
Right. No smoke, no fire.
Don't worry about the fake posts.
I keep thinking of that guy, Philippe Strauss-Kahn, it was the French guy who was in America and assaulted the maid in the hotel, and it made the headlines. Okay, And then we were like, okay, this is going to trial.
The IMF guy?
The IMF guy, yeah. And then they just found that she just wasn't a credible witness because she had lied about some other things, and the whole thing fell apart. Like, I don't know if that was right or that was wrong, but this is one of those kind of like...
That's like a boy who cried wolf thing. Do you know what I mean? Like... You lie about other things, but then the one thing that maybe is true people don't believe
Yeah, I
you.
mean, like most people think
Yeah.
he's probably a scumbag, and
Yeah.
and so, but then why wasn't he prosecuted for this incident? And the reason he wasn't is because not necessarily that didn't happen or she was wrong. It's just that then she lied about something else, and so then that broke the case. But those are all criminal standards, you know. But
Yeah.
then again, he was shamed in the court of public opinion, just like a lot of these YouTubers, and he'll never have the respect again. And you can't.
Is that a big? That's that question. Is that a big enough punishment?
I don't know.
Like, is it ruining someone's career? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But you don't, you know.
It's weird, and when you're messing with celebrity, I mean, these people live by the sword and die by it. You know, I mean,
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that, and well, not interesting. The like quite dangerous and quite scary thing is that you will still see comments from people on their videos saying, I will support you no matter what. I don't care what you've done in the past. Like, I still love you and all these things. And these are coming from teenage girls.
right.
And that's terrifying.
Right. Okay. And that is, again, an issue of the celebrity and fan
Yeah.
base, because, again, it's that into that tail curve. There's a certain percentage of people that will always
I've
be-
had people like tweet me saying, I'll support you no matter what. And I just want to reply to them like, please don't. What if I murder someone? Would you support me then?
They probably
Like,
would. All right. So, but in retrospect, the community is better. It's self-policed now. Now, a lot of these young stars, male or female, know that you have responsibility that comes with your celebrity, and you
Yeah.
need to do the right thing, right?
There's definite improvement that's happened, but definitely a long way to go.
Right.